We have been studying Sri Shankaracharya's Tattva Bodha. We have begun with the very first beginning few verses. In the earlier classes, we have done the introduction along with the beginning of the four required qualifications which are called the Sadhana Chatustaya. For that, we have also very minimally studied the four Anubandha Chatustaya, the four required qualifications for the study of any subject. Among that, one was Adhikari, one who is competent, one who is eligible for taking up this study. In this eligibility comes the question of Sadhana Chatustaya. We have studied that in the first one of these four sadhanas called the Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka, in short, the earlier class. Now we'll continue with that, with the next ones. Regarding one part that last day we have discussed, that for Adhikari, he needs to study or have the experience or the knowledge or the essence of the, which we call the Vedas. Vedas not only are the literature itself, as we said, Veda means from vid dhatu in Sanskrit, means to know the knowledge, the inner knowledge of existence. So there we have said that the other qualification, apart from knowing the essence of Vedas, the inner knowledge, along with in either in this life or in earlier life, one has to be purified in his own intellect through the regular works, the devotion, and the other which has been asked by the scriptures or according to his path, destined path which he is following, whichever path may be. It doesn't mean to any typical one creed only, whichever creed he is following, Dharmapata, whatever religion even, if we take it in the larger purpose. And Naimittika and the Prāyaścitta and Upasana. So the work and worship together constitutes the very basic qualifications to be ready to start the Sadhana Chatustaya. In that Prāyaścitta, the penance, we discussed last day, and a few more queries were there, so I'll just enumerate right now before we go ahead. What are those penances given in the different Dharmasastras and in the scriptures? In the Prāyaścitta, for the penance, means suppose any wrong deeds has been done, knowingly or unknowingly, and to get rid of that their ill effect, and then to go forward again, onward in the spiritual life, to get rid of the negative effects, so-called, of that ill deeds. The Dharmasastras, the scriptures, ask for different types of work to be done by that aspirant. Some of them are, like I'll just name them. First is the Abhiśasta. Abhiśasta means the public confession. Public confession means a person visits homes as either, it is what I'm just reading out, which has been said in the different scriptures. In today's context, it may be modified according to today's time, space, and position. So Abhiśasta, public confession, is that the person, he visits homes as a beggar, seeks forgiveness, confesses his crime, and asks for food. Then the next one is called Anutāpa, repentance. Here, the person loathes the evil he has done and reminds and repeats to himself that I shall not do that again. The third one is Prāṇāyāma, which is called the restraint of breath. Means the person does breath control exercises similar to yoga. Fourth is tapas or austerity. A person performs austerity such as celibacy, wearing wet clothes till they dry up on his body, sleeping on ground or fasting and so on. Then is homa, a fire sacrifice accompanied with Kushmanda mantras. Another may be japa, reciting Vedic prayers either audibly or inaudibly or mentally. Then dana, gift, giving away gifts such as cow, horse, land, butter, sesame seeds, and food to the needy. Then are upavasa or vratas. Restricting means restricting one's diet, such as by eating bland foods or small quantity as a self-reminder of penance, sometimes with vows. One of the example is Chandrana Vrata, which means with the waxing and waning of the moon for the full moon and the new moon. So the person reduces his food quantity daily slowly. And in that way, by 15 days or so, 2 weeks, he does his vrata, and that way, depending upon the duration, he continues. Another is tirtha or pilgrimages, means going on foot to distant pilgrimage sites or to bath in holy rivers. It is said in the Dharmasastras that this upavasa means restricting diet or fasting, and the vrata with vows are the most common forms of penance which are prescribed. As I have said, like Chandrana vrata, according to the moon's waxing and waning of moon, new moon and full moon. So person reduces his diet and fulfill his vow. But in present times, it may be said that, as Sri Ramakrishna himself has said, Anutāpa or repentance, and japa, taking the name of the Lord, and tapas, austerity, whichever form is conducive to that person. But in the Madhyapata Avalambana, not too much unnecessarily to the end of that his health goes down and he is not able to continue with the spiritual pursuits, not too much that much extreme. But otherwise, in Madhyapata tapas or austerity, these three appears to be the most effective means for achieving the fruit of Prāyaścitta penance. So in today's context, as we said, Anutāpa or repentance, japa, and tapas or austerity, these three, they constitute the most of the effective means for doing Prāyaścitta or the penance. Now, let us come back to our subject matter, today's subject matter again. So we'll start with the Sadhana Chatustaya. Before that, we begin. Let us do the Mangala Charana. As we said, the prayer. And with this, we'll start. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Vasudevendra Yogindram Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshunam Hitarthaya Tattvabodha Abhidhiyate. Means, having saluted Sri Vasudeva, the king of yogin, the Guru, who is the bestower of jnana, the knowledge of the truth, this Tattva Bodha, the knowledge of truth, is expounded for the benefit of the seekers after liberation. So let us start. Last day, we have studied the Sadhana Chatustaya at the very beginning. We said there are Sadhana Chatustaya means there are four. Chatustaya, four sadhanas, four essential qualifications were necessary for a adhikari to begin his path for spiritual pursuit. These fourfold qualifications are said: Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka, first one. The second one is Iha Mutra Phala Bhoga Viragaha. The third one, Shamadhi Shatka Sampattihi. The fourth one, mumukshatvam cha eti. Yesterday we have just enumerated the first one of this. We'll today a little bit more enumerate on the first and then carry on with the next ones. So the first one was Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka Kaha. What is the first sadhana of the four sadhanas? Sadhana Chatustaya. It is said, the question is asking what is meant by discrimination between the eternal and the ephemeral. Nitya and Anitya, that which is eternal and that which is non-eternal. So what is that difference, and which I need to understand, the sadhaka needs to understand and follow. He is giving the answer. Sri Shankaracharya is saying, Nitva vastvekam brahma tad vyatiriktam sarvam anityam ayam eva nitya anitya vastu vivekah. He says, Nitya vastu ekam brahma. Brahman alone is the nitya vastu. Yad vyatiriktam, everything else other than Brahman. Sarvam anityam, everything else is anitya, is non-eternal and permanent. I am eva, this verily is nitya anitya vastu viveka. This conviction is the discrimination between eternal and the ephemeral. Now to say a little bit more about this definition. In the Chandogya Upanishads, one of the Shrutis we have said, Shruti and Smriti we have differentiated in the last classes. The Upanishad, Chandogya Upanishad, there is one mantra is there, where it has been said, Yatra na anyat pashyati, na anyat srinoti, na anyat vijanati, sabhuma. The mantra means, there, na anya, yatra, there, na anyat pashyati, one doesn't see the other. Na anyat srinoti, one doesn't hear the other. Na anyat vijanati, one does not know the other. Sabhuma, that is bhuma. Another mantra is called Bhuma eva sukham, nalpe sukham asti. Means Bhuma eva sukham, na alpe sukham asti. So Bhuma alone is which gives you bliss, the permanent absolute happiness. Na alpe sukham asti. Whereas little, small, there is no sukha, there is no happiness, there is no bliss there. So what is this Bhuma? Where there is sukha is there, where there is permanent happiness is the abode of permanent bliss, which has been said in that mantra, that where one doesn't see another, where one doesn't hear another, when one doesn't know another, that is Bhuma. What is that Bhuma? It has been told in the Chandogya Upanishad that Yo vai Bhuma tad amritam. That is the Bhuma, that which is amritam, the bliss, this immortality. This is Brahman. So this is another name of that which is Nitya, which is Brahman. Now we will come into the definition which is given on the screen here. Number 3.2. Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma. The eternal, the Vastu alone is Brahman, alone is the eternal. So he says that Yovai Bhuma Tad Amritam. That is Bhuma, that is Amrita, that is Brahman. So that way it is said that alone in Brahman alone is this bliss, eternal happiness, permanent abode of bliss. And everything else in this world is non-eternal, it is ephemeral, it is not full with happiness. It is said that, we already said, that Bhuma eva sukham na alpe sukham asti. Only Bhuma itself, which in Brahma alone, is this Amrita alone. Yovai Bhuma tad Amritam. In this Bhuma alone, and this Brahman alone, Amritam alone, is Sukha, the permanent bliss. Everything else is fitted with very little Sukha. Na alpe Sukham asti. There is alpa in the small things, there is no Sukha. Not even little Sukha. It says there is no Sukha at all, wherever it is small, anything else other than Brahman. So that's why it is said this here, that Yatra Anyat Pashyati, Anyat Srinoti, Anyat Vijanati, Tad Alpam. Atha yat alpam tan martyam. Now he's telling the other part of the definition. So we already said that Nitya Vastu Ekam Brahma means that which is eternal, that is Brahma, that is Bhuma, that is Amrita, that is immortal, and that is the source of permanent happiness, permanent bliss. And the other part of the definition in the number 3.2, it is saying that Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam. Apart from this Brahman, everything else is Anitya, impermanent. So in that mantra, in another mantra of Chandogya Upanishad, it is saying, after he said that Bhuma is where one doesn't see another, one doesn't know another, one doesn't hear another. And the other one, how he is saying, Yatra Annat Pashyati, where one sees another. Annat Srinoti, where one hears another. Anyat Vijanati, where one knows another. Tad Alpam, that is Alpa, so that is small. We already said that Bhuma eva sukham na alpe sukham asti. The Bhuma part he has given is Brahman. Now the Alpa part, which is the Anitya part, Tad Vyatiriktam Sarvam Anityam, that he is telling that Yatra Anyat Pashyati, where one sees another, where one hears another, where one knows another. Annat Srinoti, Anyat Vijanati, Tad Alpam, that is Alpa, that is small. And I already have said, Na Alpe Sukham asti, in Alpa, in small. In Anitya, there is no Sukham. He is telling that, Atha Yat Alpam Tad Martyam, that which is Alpa, that is small, which there is no Sukha there, that is Tan Martyam, that is Martha. Martha means that is not eternal. That is mortal and that will die one day. That will end someday or other. Verily, at any time it will end. In the philosophy, in the Darshan, it is said that Shara Vikara means in Gita also it's coming, Sri Krishna is telling, for any worldly thing, matter, there is 6 changes are there. What are the 6 changes? Jayate, Asti, Parivardhate, Viparinamate, Nashyati, Apakshiyate, then Nashyati. 6 changes. First is Jayate, first is takes birth. Then Asti, then its existence comes after its taking birth or coming to existence. Then Parivardhate, it gets bigger and bigger, it grows up. Then Viparinamate, it transforms into a different way, like a tadpole to a frog or a caterpillar to a butterfly. Then the cycle as it were, it goes to the opposite side, apakshiyate, then slowly diminishes, it gets slowly retarded, and in the end, nashyati, it becomes destroyed. So anything anitya, impermanent, which is unreal, which is ephemeral, it undergoes these 6 changes. It begins, but at the end, jayate asti, parivardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate, nashyati, it ends someday or other. But that's why it is said, yatha yat alpam tan martyam. That is martya. Martya means that is ephemeral, that is non-eternal, that will end someday or other. Everything. So tad vyatiriktam sarvam anityam. All this are anitya. This is not eternal, it is impermanent. This is not eternal. So here he says then alone Brahma is eternal. So when we have this conviction in ourselves that I am eva nitya anitya vastu viveka. Generally we have the opposite belief in life. We think that whatever this pleasure we are having, it will be with us always, whatever money or the relationships or so many things we love, we cherish in this world, in our lives. We think it will be always with us. But the reality shows that someday or other it will vanish, it will go away from us. Life itself is uncertain. Only death itself is certain. But when this reality dawns upon us in some time or other, that we know that everything in this life, it vanishes, it goes away. Sarvam Vatiriktam Sarvam Tadvariktam Sarva Anityam. Everything vanishes, goes away. Then we'll have this conviction that I am eva Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Then we'll not cling to this which is non-eternal, which is impermanent, but will strive to know which is permanent alone, which is eternal alone. We have not yet realized that. We have not yet realized the Brahma, not yet realized the eternal. But we have this conviction, this everything in this world is flittering, it is going away. It begins and it ends in a very short time, in no time. So we strive to know something beyond this, which will give us that bliss. Bhuma eva sukham, which will give that bliss, which bliss, happiness doesn't go away, and to know this and be one with that bliss. And we strive, though we have not realized that, but that's the beginning of our spiritual life. That's why the Viveka is the very first one. We know Swami himself took up this name. Swami Vivekananda just took up this name of Vivekananda, Viveka Ananda. The Ananda, the bliss of this Viveka, of this bliss of this differentiation, to be able to differentiate between which is not, which is not eternal and which is eternal, which is not permanent, which is permanent, which is not real, which is real. This is the very first step of spiritual life. We at least discard which is bad, and then we start our journey towards good. We have not yet reached the good, but we just begin a journey. So in short, this is which is what called Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. These ideas may crop up and come again and again in the future, but now let us move on with the second part of the Nitya Anitya, second part of the Sadhana Chatustaya. If any questions or comments today, you can put in the comment box, or you can ask now itself or also in the end if you want. Otherwise, we can continue with the second part of the Sadhana Chatustaya, which is called Viraga. We have found that in number 2.1, the four sadhanas. First one was Nitya Nitya Vastu Viveka. Number 2 is Iha Mutrartha Phala Bhoga Viraga. So now we are coming to the second one. So in 4.1, Shankaracharya is asking, Viraga Kaha. Viraga is what is this? Dispassion. He is giving the answer. In the 2.1 we have seen that it is given Iha amutra artha phala bhoga viraga. It means that to have this discussion to the enjoyment of fruits of one's actions here and hereafter. Is or paralokya bhog se vairagya. Iha means here, and amutra means there, other. Other means in the other world, the next life, or in the next birth, or in the paradise, in the swarga, in the other loka. So amutra is in the next life, next birth, or next world, and iha means here itself, right now in this life, in this birth, this world. So iha amutra artha phala bhoga viraga. Whatever we get the enjoyments of our fruits, whatever artha we do, and their phala, whatever results we have, we cling for the results, we cling for the pleasures for that, and we want to avoid the pains. But when we give up totally, I don't want the enjoyment from this results of my actions either in this life or in other life. Then this viraga, this vairagya comes. That's why its name is Iha Amutra Artha Phala Bhoga Viraga. It is in short and given 2.1. Now Shankaracharya gives in details in 4.2. So let us come to that, his own definition here. He says, Viragahaka, it is Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Ichha Rahityam. So here it clearly says Iha. Iha means here is Lokme in this world, and Swarga. We said then the Amutra means earlier we said it is in the other world or other birth, next life. That is Swarga. Bhogeshu. What's the enjoyment? Enjoyment means we do some work, we have some ambition, we want to get their fruit in this life, we want to have the pleasures, happiness of that work we do. But when we say that, and this life also, I don't need those results, the enjoyment. I don't want to enjoy those fruits of my actions, and also I do not want to enjoy these fruits of my actions in the next world also. For the part of the Ashubha Phala, for the Dukkha or the Papa, there it is not needed to say at all, because no one wants to enjoy or suffer his Ashubha or the Papa or the negative Karma Phalas. Everyone wants to avoid all the negative Phalas, but everyone wants to enjoy the positive Shubha and the Punna and his good deeds. So there is no point pointing out about the Ashubha Karma Phala, about the Papa or the Dukkha, that naturally everybody wants to avoid, but everybody clings to the Sukha and Shubha Phala, Punya. So that he's saying, which everybody clings to that even I don't want. Either I do not want to enjoy this pleasure in this life, enjoyment. I do not want my pleasures to enjoyment in the next life or next birth or in the paradise in the Swarga. Ichha Rahityam. Ichha, that I do not have the Ichha, I do not have the desire. I'm Rahita. I do not have the desire to run after those enjoyment in either in this life or in next life. So this is called Iha Swarga Bhogeshu Ichha Rahityam, absence of desire for the enjoyment of the fruits of one's actions in this world as also in the other world. So this is Vairagya or Viraga, dispassion. So you see that in the Viveka and the Vairagya, in Viveka it is more mental because you are having the conviction. In Viveka he said that I have distinguished this mentally, intellectually, or in my conviction that this is right and that is wrong. This way, so this is good, that is bad. That way I have differentiated that this world is impermanent, this is not real, this is not ephemeral, this is it won't give you lasting peace. So I've decided that whatever is the best one, I want to strive for that. So this is a mental decision, but you have not yet put that in action. But in Vairaka and Viraga, you're putting more in action. It is no more in the mental plane alone. You're putting that in a practical plane also. This is the difference between Vivek and Vairagya. That's why Vivek is the first step. You have the first preparatory stage that you want to differentiate mentally, mental preparation, and Vairagya the next step where you physically even you give up the desires of enjoyment, or when your enjoyment is there, you just go away from that and you avoid that. So it's more than physical, and you put that Vivek in action. That may say, Viveka is the theoretical part, and Vedaka is the that way applied Viveka. When Viveka is applied in our day-to-day life, accordingly we act according to Viveka, that becomes Vairagya. That becomes that I do not, because I have decided, I know that I have this conviction that this life is full of unreal or non, this ephemeral, is not eternal. So I do not want any of these enjoyments in this life. So I act accordingly. So this is Vairagya. Now to put one or two more points of this Vairagya, we'll say what is then given in another very famous text of we had said that of Vedanta Sara, which has been written in a very short treatise of Sadananda Yogindra Saraswati. There this Viveka, this definition is given, but a little bit more some points has been added, little bit in details. We'll just enumerate those points very short so that we can get a little bit more ideas. In the Iha part, this life part, it has been stated there. Ahikanam. Ahikana means ahika in this life. Strak Chandana Vanitadi Vishaya Bhoganam. Strak Chandana Vanitadi Vishaya Bhoganam means Vishaya, whatever the subjects of objects of enjoyment, like Strak means like garland. Garland means enjoyments of different pleasurely objects. Chandana also like that, different pleasurely objects, which gives you wonderful essence and you gives you more enjoyment. And Vanitadi means he had said for the male person it can be for the you can take enough for the female, and for the female person we can take enough for the male. That which as Sri Ramakrishna says in his own word, Kama Kanchana. Where he says Kamini Kanchana, that means for the male person he says Kamini, and for the female he said for the otherwise. So this Kama Kanchana, this Tyaga, what Sri Ramakrishna says that in this Vairagya, this part is enumerated in details. Strak Chandana Vanitadi Vishaya Bhoganam Karma Jannataya. We've known that this is due to my karma, this result comes. Like karma, we do something wrong deeds and we have this Ashubha karma, we have this papa, we have this dukkha. Similarly, by good deeds, we have the Shubha karma, we have the Sukha, we have Punya. So that time we have these objects to our enjoyments. But again, because it is karma janna and everything limited, because karma is limited, its results also is limited. Either way, either it is punishment also limited or it's whatever you get its price, that is also limited. Either way it is limited. Any karma, because it is limited, it is results either good and bad, both are limited. So because it's karma janyata, because it is out of karma, by karma we get it. So it is anityatvavat. So it is anitya. Anitya means we have read that earlier, that anitya is tad vatiriktam sarvam anityam in Viveka. Other than Brahman, everything else is anitya. So here it is telling that all these enjoyments are anityatvavat. This is not eternal. Getting this idea. And amushmikanam means api, means the other world also, swarga and amutra. There also api amritadi vishaya bhoganam. There also in the paradise you get so much pleasure, so much happiness for the timing when as long as you're in the paradise in the swarga. Or according to your good deeds in the next birth you'll be happy according to your work. But that also is not permanent, that is impermanent. Someday or other that will also end. Because your karma was limited, the result of it karma, whether good and bad, that is also limited. So that is also anitya. In the other words, that is anitya, that means tebhya nitarang viratihi. So the total virati, nitarang, the total stop, full stop to that. So this is called iha mutra phala bhoga viraga. When I am totally convinced about that, through Viveka, that everything in this life or other life, it is fraught with impermanence. It is fraught with non-eternity. It is fraught with unreality. So I put a full stop to all those enjoyments either in this life or in next life. Or at least I strive to put a full stop to that. I may not have that much high vairagya right now, but I know this with conviction, and I, by steps, one step at a time, I strive to go higher and higher, and I want to give up all the enjoyments, this or that life. So this is vairagya. So this is in short, which is called vairagya, the definition. So we have seen this Vivek and Vairagya are very intimately related. As we said, Vivek is a theoretical part, as it were, the mental conviction, and Vairagya is Viveka put in action. It is the applied Viveka that way, Vairagya. So now to come the Shama Damadi Shat Sampattihi. Now Shankaracharya is asking, Samadhi Sadhana Sampattihi Ka. What are those Samadhi, Sham Adi Sadhana Sampatti? What are those? There are six. You said earlier, we have read it, that there are Shatka Sampatti. We have read the Samadhi Shatka Sampatti. We have read it. So, he is asking, what are those six Sampattis, Sadhana Sampatti, what are those six accomplishments? Starting with Shama. First is Shama. He is answering number 5.2. Shama, Dama, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, Samadhanam, Cha iti. These are the five Shatka Sampatti. These are the five, six the qualifications, accomplishments. That is Shat Sampatti. These are third part of the Sadhana Chatustaya. We have said Sadhana Chatustaya first is Viveka, second is Viraga or Vairagya, third is accomplishing these six things totally put in one single. This is the third part of the Sadhana Chatustaya, and the fourth will come later on. So the third part contains six more in details. So will come each one, one after another. So what is Shama, then Dama, then Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhana. So first, to begin with, what is Shama? Shankaracharya is asking, number 5.3, Shama Kaha. What is Shama? He is asking, is replying, Mano Nigraha. Man ka Nigraha Sham hai. So in English, the meaning says control or mastery of the mind. That is Shama. So what is this? Mastery of the mind or control of the mind. Mana Sanyama. The control of the mind is, Nigraha means controlling your mind is Shama. We'll again resort to the another text we said, because we are reading this Tattvabodha, which is a very brief, in very gist form, it has been given, and very often we'll also refer to the other text, which is also brief, but a little bit more than this, Vedanta Sara, where by Sadananda Yogindra, where little bit details has been given, but with help of this Tattvabodha, we'll refer to that text one and again. So there a little bit more has been given about this Shama, about this Mana Nigraha. What has been given in the Vedanta Sara, there it is telling, Shamaha Tavat Sravanadi Vyatirikta Vishabhyaha Manasaha Nigraha. So Manasa Nigraha, it has already come here. Mano Nigraha, we have seen here, 5.3. Manka Nigraha, control and mastery of over the mind. So he is elaborating over this Mana Nigraha, elaborating over this control of mind. What is that? He said, Tavat Sravanadi Vyatirikta Vishabhya. This is the part, the adjective we have added. What is that? Tavat Sravanadi Vyatirikta. Other than Tavat Sravanadi, Sravan and etc. Other than Sravan and etc., everything else, Vishayabha, everything else, whatever thing is there in this world, everything else you give up and you control and have the mastery over everything else. So what is this Sravanadi? Tavad with Vyatirikta. Sravanadi means, it will come later on in details. In Vedanta Sadhana, it is said, and it will come in the end, in fact, Sravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. These are the mukhya, the paths. After you get fulfilled with your sadhana Chatustaya and you go to Guru, and you know from your Guru, your Mahavakya or the get from the Vedantic teaching from a Guru, that is a Sravana. You hear it from your Guru, from a preceptor, from a teacher. After that, Manana. Manana means you think over that, cogitate over that. Details of it will come later on. And the last is you do Nididhyasana, means meditation or contemplate over that. So these are the three things. Means whatever this Brahman we have read earlier, that Nitya, only Brahman is eternal, Brahman is Nitya. In the Viveka we have read already earlier. So you learn that in details about Brahman from your Guru, preceptor. You think over that, do vichara inquiry again and again over that in Manana. And in the end, you do Nididhyasana, you meditate and contemplate on this Brahman. So these three things, apart from these three things, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Tavat Shravanadi Vyatirikta, other than these three things, Shravan, Manana, Nididhyasana, Shravan Adi, Vishaya, everything else is Manasa Nigraha. Everything else you should get rid of from your mind. You should only think of these three, and other than, your mind should not run after any other objects. Like Sri Ramakrishna says, when রাজহাঁস সে জলে থাকে আর সে ওই জল থেকে দুধ থেকে আলাদা করে নিতে পারে, মিনস সে you can take up that when water and it is mixed up with milk is mixed up, will take the water and get rid of the water, take milk and get rid of the water. So like that, mind should be that much fine, so much subtle, that everything other than Ishvara, everything other than Brahman, which is when your Guru has told you about your Ishta, your mind should not roam on anything other objects of worldly life, which is Anitya, which enjoyments in Vairaga we have given up, that I do not want these enjoyments of any worldly objects. So mind will be so much fine, so much subtle, that it is so much filtered, that you will think only about the Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, mind will be so much controlled, and it will not run after worldly objects. So in short, this is Shama, Mana Nigraha. Mana Nigraha means mastery or control of mind, other than which has been Guru has been told to think of your Ishta or Ishvara or Brahman. Anything else, the mind should not roam about. So in short, this is Shama. Then let us come to Dhamma. Little bit we are going fast forward, not going too much in details, and because these ideas will come again and again feature also, again we'll deal with this, but we'll move on to the next point, and we'll see if we can, how much we can complete today. So Dhamma kaha. So what is Dhamma? Dham kise kehte hai? He says चक्षुरादि बाह्य इंद्रिय निग्रह, चक्षु आदि बाहरी इंद्रियों का निग्रह, control and mastery over external sense organs. And now the earlier Shama was Antar Indriya. Man is called internal. Antar Indriya, this is internal sense organ. Man is Man, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankar. This four part will come later on. But man is the internal sense organ. And other sense organs are Gyanendriya and Karmendriya. And these are the Gyanendriya, the external sense organs, the Chakshu, and we know the five Pancha Gyanendriyas. We hear, we see, and we smell, we touch, and all these things are the Yavan, and we also taste. So all these things are the external sense organs. So it says Chakshu Adi Bahya Indra Nigraha. Internal control is Shama and external control is Dhamma. Here also Vedanta Sara says, elaborates a little bit more, that Vaya Indriyanam, for these Vaya Indriyas, this Chakshu and all this, 5 Indriyas, Tyad Vatirikta Vishabhya Nivartanam, same as Tad Vatirikta Vishabhya, means Sadhan Anukul, that Vishay, means for Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, apart from those things, Anukul Vishay, Chorke, apart from those, anything else, running after anything bad things, seeing after any bad things, unnecessary things, or hearing any unnecessary things, kusanga or anything, which is not conducive to our spiritual growth. So giving up, and by the 5 sense organs also, those things, so that is Dhamma, that is control of sense organs. So in all these definitions, we have to add this idea of that will control the mind and control the sense organs, but through control, we'll think again and again about Brahman or Ishvara Ishta, which Guru has told us, like Sravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, or Jap, Dhyan, whichever puja, whatever Guru has told us. And apart from anything else, any worldly objects, will pull the mind back again and again towards our main object. So this pulling back again, this comes in the third of the Shat Sampatti, which is called Uparamaha. Will come in our third part. First we said the Shama, the control mind, Dhamma is control of sense organs, outer sense organs. Then Uparama kaha, Swadharma Anushtanam eva. Uparama means strict observance of one's own duty. Swadharma Anushtanam. Anushtanam, to doing his Dharma, Anushtanam eva. The Swadharma comes elaborately in his Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna says to Arjuna, that means we need to give it any very short, that sattva dharma, that guna sanjata jo karma, that is swadharma. There are 3 gunas. We know that sattva, rajas and tamas. Tamas comes the ego, and rajas comes the our ambition to get some results. So when rajas comes, we run after results, desire for results, enjoyment for the fruits of action. And through tamas, our ego comes prominent in the very forefront. So when we get rid of our this ego and tamas, when we get rid of the running of this fruit of enjoying the fruit of actions, the rajas, and instead we do our duties for duty's sake by sattva guna alone, sattva guna sanjata only, that karma which when we do, that is swadharma. Swadharma doesn't mean that occupation or jivika like that, earning, not like that. It means that sattva, when through sattva guna, giving up your ego, tamaguna, and giving up a desire for the fruits by rajas, you do the sattva guna, that is swadharma. So strict observance of one's own duty is swadharma anushtana eva by sattva guna, not running after your egoistic work or running after your enjoying the fruits of work. So this is uparama. Now a little bit more of the uparama, or this is also called uparati sometimes. Both are used, sometimes uparati, sometimes uparama. So here another explanation is given, wonderful explanation given in the Vedanta Sara also, and Shankaracharya elsewhere also gives, and where he gives in details. Let us see that definition also, which is also connected with the Shama and Dhamma. We'll see right now. It is said, Nivartitanam etesham yad vatirikta vishabhya uparanam uparati. So this uparama or uparati is Nivartitanam etesham tad vatirikta vishabhya. That vatirikta vishabhya is coming again and again, we have seen in Shama and Dhamma. That vatirikta means other than Shravan, Manana, Nidhyasana, or other than any other deeds which are conducive to our spiritual growth, anything which is God takes us away from God, all those deeds, that vatirikta vishabhya. So Nivartitanam etesham means when through Shama you have controlled your mind and thinking only of Lord, only of God alone, and not letting your mind go outside. And through Dhamma, when you're thinking through your mind and your external organs, eyes and ears, only listening and hearing and thinking only of God and God alone, and not letting it to go away to worldly objects alone. This not letting to go away, that Nivartitanam etesham, that is Uparama. Just to give an example, in earlier days we know that there is a spring in the watches, wrist watches. Or when a spring, you compress a spring, and then when you release the spring, again the spring will get bigger. When you compress a spring, it becomes very small, and when you release the spring, again it unfolds and it becomes very big, elongated. So this uparama means that when your mind has been concentrated upon God or an Ishta, doing Shravan, Manana, Nidhyasana, doing Japa, Dhyana, Puja, and not thinking of the worldly object by Shama. And Dhamma, when your sense organs, your eyes, ears, etc., are concentrated on thoughts of on seeing or hearing about God alone, not roaming after worldly objects, not allowing them to go away again, to go back to the world. So that is Uparama. So means when it is pulled back towards God, Shama, the mind pulled back, and Dhamma, the organs are pulled back towards God, not letting it again like a spring, not letting it again to go back, recall again towards the worldly objects. So that is Uparama Ruparati. Once it had concentrated on your Lord Ishta, then it should stay there. It should not go back again to the world. So this is Nivartitanam Etesham, that Vatarikta Vishabhya. Other than your object of your prayer, your ishta, which is Guru has told you. Other than anything else, again going back to our worldly objects, not allowing it to go back. So that is what is called uparama, uparati. So in this definition which Shankaracharya gives, and in that definition we are already told that there is another definition given in the Vedanta Sar also. Athava is saying vihitanam karmanam vidhinam parityagaha. Here is the two definitions will come together. The meaning will come together. He says vihitanam karmanam vidhina parityag. It means that vihita karma phal. Vihita arthat whatever sakam karma. Nishiddha karma, already we have said that nishiddha karma is already the negative karma which will get you bad results. So already that getting rid of. But sakam karma also which you run after through your ego, or which you want your results through the rajas. I said that earlier, that through rajas you want to get the results of your karma, and through tama you want to get egoistic through ego. So all this vihita karma, all this sakam karma, that vidhipurak tyaga, vidhina parityaga, very verily to giving up all this sakama karma, verily, so that there is no more sakama karma in you. You are not running after through rajas towards running of the results, or no more you are doing egoistic karma. Then you what karma you are doing? You are doing karma according to your swadharma, means sattva guna sanjata karma. So here comes this definition comes together. Swadharma anushtanam eva. Two definitions here comes together. Then this means that when you give up your worldly karma, where you run only after the results, ambition, or through your ego, and want to enjoy the fruits, and you do according to your sattva guna, that means you do your swadharma, that much you will karma you do, and then that means you're not allowing your mind, not allowing your senses to go towards enjoying the fruits, or to go become egoistic. So looking away the rajas and tamas, you are allowing only constantly over here sattva guna karma swadharma, that is uparama uparati. So now these two types of definition comes together. Here definition given swadharma anushtanam, doing your swadharma, one's own duty, and there the definition given that you give up your any other karma, which is your sakama karma, which is bound to give fruit, or when your mind has been concentrated, when your senses are concentrated, not letting it to go away again, go back to your worldly, your desire. So that is uparama or uparati. So this way, all these three things, Shama, Dhamma, and Uparama, are well knit together in the same point. It comes together, converges together. That's why it has been put in the same third part of the Sadhana Chatustaya together. There are three more are there, that Shraddha, Titiksha, and Samadhana also there. But little time is left over. So if before we move on to the next one, if today there are any questions or suggestions, comments, we can take up those things, and then next day we'll carry on. If any questions or suggestions, comments are there, you can ask or you can put in the comment box. Anybody wants to put any question or comment, you can put. Otherwise, we'll go to the fourth one, Titiksha.
Swadharma Anushtanameva. This means only that we have to do mana nigraha and indriya nigraha.
Uh,
This
the,
this
this is,
only
huh, yes, please complete the question. Huh?
only mana nigraha and indriya nigraha means swadharma nushthaneva.
Here in the first Shama it was Mana Nigraha, means controlling mind, and the Dhamma it was controlling sense organs. Uparama says in two ways, Uparama gives a twofold definition. We said one of the definition is Swadharma Anushthanameva, which Shankaracharya gives in this Tattva Bodha. Here it means strict observance of one's own duty. Now I said that what is meant by Swadharma? Swadharma means when one acts according to his Sattva Guna. Sattva Guna Sanjata Karma, which comes in the Gita. When one acts according to his Rajasa Tamas, then one drifts away from his goal. When Tama comes, he becomes egoistic, means the mind becomes more prominent and he wants to run after his enjoyment. And through Rajas also, he wants to run after the enjoyments of fruits and he moves away. So that way, Swadharma means when you control your mind and control your sense organs to not at low get let go away to external worldly objects other than only whichever your Guru has said, other than Brahman, other than Ishvara, other than Ishta, other than your Sravan, Mananidhi Darshana, other than your Jab Dhyan Puja. So that was Swadharma means holding your mind through Shama and Dhamma and doing only that work which has been a Guru has assigned to you, not letting to your mind to go drifting away. So this is a way to pulling back. And in this part of pulling back, another definition has been given that Nivartitadam etesham in Vedanta Sara it's given. Etesham vetad vyatirikta vishabhya. It's converging the same meaning that shows that whatever other than conducive, which is not conducive to your spiritual growth, spiritual practice, giving up all those things, give up all those enjoyments, which is not conducive to your spiritual growth, or which has not been told, assigned by your guru, showed by guru, everything else is giving up. So through giving up, this tamaguna, by ego is to work, and rajaguna, which is our work after running after the results, that will be naturally given up. Then only sattva-guna, swadharma, which is your controlling mind and senses work, will be left over. So this is that way Swadharma converges through control of mind and control of sense organs. And the other
Yes,
definition which is given, I said, in
uh,
Vedanta Sara is Vihitanam Karmanam Vidhina Parityagaha. So here another meaning is there in the higher meaning, in the stages. The Vihitana means you're giving up Sakama Karma, totally Vihita Karma means, or totally giving up means, it is a word implying sannyasa. It's a word implying renunciation. Now again, there are gradation of it. It doesn't mean that everybody needs to be sannyasa outside in outwardly world also, not like that. Like Sri Ramakrishna says that অন্তরে সন্ন্যাসী থাকা, the অন্তরে ত্যাগ করা. Like he used to say চৈতন্য দেবের শিষ্যরা সবাই অন্তরে সন্ন্যাসী ছিলেন. In your own heart you have to give up. For some people you may give up, become externally sannyasi, externally a monk or done like that. But for others, internally you have to need to give up. Internally you need to renounce. As Sri Ramana Maharshi used to say that renunciation of ego is the real renunciation. Not only giving up your birth, your house, or giving up your taking up this ochre robe, not like that, saffron color, not like that. Giving up a ego means the Tama and Rajas, giving up that, like which is the essence of Viraja mantra, which earlier we have said that in our meditation classes. So that essence of sannyasa is meant by this word uparama uparati. Means one, অর্থাৎ বাংলায় যেটা বলা যায় থুতু ফেলে থুতু খাওয়া. So once you have spitted up, you should not take up the spit again, back again. So upara means once you have given up, you have spitted up, you should not again lick your spit again. So this is uparama and uparati. You have given up, it's given up. But for some people it will be external sannyasa also, that vihitanam karmanam vidhina parityaga, by vidhi of formally giving up external sannyasa. But by others, for others, the external says, it will be internal sannyasa. Antara that, not may not be
thank you,
external. Okay.
Maharaj.
So this is
Thank you.
the essence of uparama uparati or uparati. These are both terms are used. Sometimes uparama, sometimes uparati.
Thank you, Maharaj. Very nicely
Yes.
explained.
So I think today we may not go to the fourth one, Titiksha. It will take time because already time is almost up. So I think we can conclude by just summarizing. If any questions or any more comments will be there, others we can summarize and we can end today. So what we will learn today in Sadhana Chatustaya, first is Viveka. Viveka means the conviction. There is a mental preparation, not yet the action, not putting in action. Viveka means to decide that everything else is not permanent, everything else is not real, everything else is not eternal. So alone, only Ishvara or God, though we have not realized that, at least having this deep faith, a deep idea, the conviction. This is Viveka. And when Viveka is put it in action, applied Viveka, that is Vairagya. According to the knowledge of Viveka, we decide that so enough is enough. We don't want this enjoyment in this life. Also, enough is enough. We do not want any enjoyment next life. We give the example of hotel yesterday, last in the class. Suppose you have been invited in a five-star hotel. There are 500 rooms there. And the first few times, each day you will given one room, but you will be confined in the hotel always. The first few days you will be very happy to stay in different rooms, different suites, VIP suites. But maybe after 5, 10, 15 days or 1 month, 2 months, you'll be fed up. You'll say enough is enough. I don't want to be confined in the hotel. However, it may be enjoyable, but I want to get rid. I want freedom. I want to get rid of this hotel. I want to get outside in the air. So this is like that. That we say that Vairagya, I don't want this enjoyment in this life or that life. Then this Shama, these six qualifications. First we said Shama means controlling mind. Other than which is your Guru has asked about God or Ishta, everything else you get rid of. Dhamma is controlling external sense organs, Chakshu, Strotra, ears, etc. Other than which has been conducive to your spiritual practice. And Uparama, Ruparati is you're getting rid of your Tama and Rajaguna and doing a Sattvaguna work. And when you have been concentrating your mind and senses, not getting rid, allowing it to go back again to the world. That is Uparama, Uparati. Or in other words, it is said that formally giving up. That is sannyasa, there is Vihitanam Karmanam, Vidhina Paritaka. Formally giving up this external, this enjoyable works, this Sakama Karma, formally. That is a sannyasa, means sannyasa. But as I said, for everybody it may not be necessary to give formally giving up, but they can do internal sannyasa. As Sri Ramakrishna says, Chaitanya he said about that, Sri Ramananda said. Internal sannyasa is a must for everybody, and for some people, according to his Ishvara Ichha, or according to his Prarabdha Karma, for them it may be external sannyasa also. So this is in short about Uparama Ruparati. So today let us end. If there is no more question, we will do again this Mangalacharana mantra and we'll end with this. Vasudevendra Yogindra Natva Jnana Pradam Gurum Mumukshanam Hitarthaya Tattvabodha Abhidhiyate means is Ham Jnana Pradata Vasudevendra Yogi, the king of yogis, Vasudevendra. We said that it not only means to Krishna, it means the Lord himself, Parameshwara, will bow down to him and who gives us jnana, the Guru. And for mumukshana, we who seek this liberation for a benefit of us, this Tattva Bodha, which we are learning, the knowledge of truth, has been expounded upon. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arnamastu.